Okay, Jimmy, in the off season, I'd really like to just see you working on getting your lower half through a little bit more. You can see on this one here, we're a little bit heavy on our stride, but we can really see how our arms got out in front there, right? And we missed. You can see that was a pretty army swing there. A little heavy on our front side, and we just got our arms a little bit ahead right there. You can just see how that's more arms and around. As we go to the next pitch. Yep, you can just see you got your arms out in front. You do a good job staying connected, top hand, staying a fist away from our back shoulder. But you can see, as I'm watching here and seeing that back knee come in, and you can see the major leaguers that we have as those samples for how our lower half goes, and we get that back elbow working independent. You can see our back elbow doesn't really work independent of our hands as we get our arms out in front right there. You can just see we just need to get a little bit more stretch, and you can see your head. If I drew that line as a frame of reference, you can see how when we get arms first, how that makes our head come up, and it's very intuitive. We don't want to hit with our head coming up, right? And if we get that stretch with our lower half, get that back elbow to work independent of the hands, right? We can just see arms and up there with our swing. Okay, so that's fouled off. He didn't catch it. Oops. Let's see how we did here. Yep. Right, again, as I'm watching back knee and I'm watching hands. And I'm looking to see if our elbow comes first. Now you can see we're just getting our arms a little bit too soon. Right? I mean, you can see where I paused the major leaguers and how they're at that point there with their hips and their hands are still up there next to our back shoulder. We just came together there, right? You can just see that we're really not getting a stretch. And again, if you watch your head, I'm not going to draw a line, but you can just see it as you go arms first. See how your head's coming up, 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 up. See your head comes up, up. Now again, your movement to the ball is very efficient. There's no wasted motion there, Jim, at all. No wasted motion. But we won't come up. We'll be able to stay down through, and we're just going to be way quicker if we don't get those arms going first like we've got there. I'd love to see your hands still back up by your back shoulder as your hips turn like that there. So we fouled that off. This is the one that we put in play. Ooh, we got heavy on our front side there. Yep, and we can see how we got arms first. And you can see how your direction is around there. You can see how your head comes up. Head comes up and around. And again, I'm amazed at how efficient your hand motion is to the ball there. But we won't come up, and we'll be so much better if we don't get that. You can just see how as you're starting to turn, your hands have already come so far into play right there. Okay, Jimmy. As we get down, we're pretty good. Now, let's start off with what you do real well. If you watch your hands, you can see how there's no wasted motion. Your hands are right to the ball. Right to the ball. Really, really, really in tight there. What we can do to even get better is you can see your hands are just getting a little bit ahead of your hip turn. Love the way that you stay in tight there. Back elbow down. I mean, you're really tight. Really tight. I would love it if we could just get, as we get turning there, if our hands still were able to stay back a little bit more and get a little bit more of our stretch between our lower half and upper half. I think that's going to give us even some more length through the ball. Okay, Jimmy, this is your second at bat off Coach Woody Live. And same thing we talked about before, we're just getting a little bit of hands first. You're staying in real tight, real good. We're just getting our arms a little bit in front of our hip turn. We're a little bit late there. Foul ball. Okay, oops. There, we got heavy there. So this time we got heavy on our front side. And as we got heavy on our front side, we really got our arms out in front. And that's why we got just a little bit late and didn't get that good length through it. We just got heavy right there. You can see how it starts. See how it starts to come forward? As your foot's hitting, we got heavy in our arms. It started to come forward. And that just made us a little bit slow and a little bit late to the ball there. Just keep working on getting down back, down with your weight back, and feeling that lower half go. See, I'd like to see our hands still be back as we've started to get our lower half going there. And it just makes us a little inefficient to the ball. Okay, Jimmy, this is your first at bat in the last game off the slow and close machine. And pretty good job. A little bit of weight forward on our stride. You can see that you've pushed off your back foot a little bit. See how your weight's come off your back foot a little bit there? Right? I think we're a little heavy there. But the big thing that I want you to see in this one is as I draw that line there, as you get a little arms first, see how that makes your head come up? And that's not a pitch that we really need to elevate on. Now, a great job. I mean, it's just, you're really good at how you work long through there. Hands stay in tight. I mean, so much good stuff going on, Jimmy. If we can just make sure that we're soft on our stride and try to get a little bit more stretch with our lower half, get that back hip to work a little bit more, backside, whatever you want to say, because as we get a little bit of arms first, you can really see how it lifts your head up, which again, this is just, you know, kind of ball lobbing in there. It's a little bit harder to hit when it's coming in hot if we're getting that arms and elevate right there. But you can see the efficiency of your movement and how you work away from yourself really good. Let's just keep working on weight staying back on our stride, weight staying back on our stride, and just getting a little bit of stretch with our hip, and that'll help us go down through the ball a little bit more. Okay, Jimmy, here's your second at bat in the last game off the close machine. Maybe a little bit heavy on our stride there. All right, we just want to keep working on getting, same thing, keep working on getting a stretch. We're a little bit out in front of that, but the reason we want to keep being soft on our stride and getting a stretch is we look at our head there as we get a little arms first. See how we just come up just that little bit, and that's not a ball up enough to do that. So we want to just keep working, same thing we've talked about, soft on our stride, and then just feeling a little bit more separation between our lower half and upper half. As I roll my finger, you can see how they just come together a little bit, and that's what makes your head come up just a little bit as we're going to the ball there.